keep you bastards away. You realize what kind of a panel we have today? Does anyone have any idea? This panel has never, ever, ever, ever been done before in the history of convention. Everybody always goes, Evil Dead reunion. Bullshit, this is an Evil Dead reunion. Just about every cast member, except Army of Darkness, because none of them give a shit. So, they've all retired from the horrible experience they had making that movie. But I'm going to introduce these fine people, one at a time, and then we will turn them upon you, or you upon them, and you can finally ask every jackass Evil Dead question you ever wanted to ask any of these actors. I will not be answering any question as I'm moderating. Well, maybe a few questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with Evil Dead 2, some of our esteemed cast members. We're starting with the one, the only. He played Ed, who then became known as, I guess, Chop Top at some point, Evil Ed. Please welcome Richard Dummy. He's in the house. Come on, young man. Welcome. Sit down.
Thank you.
So, are you something of a virgin at these events?
My first convention ever!
Who are you people, he shouts. I've been asking myself that for 30 years. Who are you freaks? Well, welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Much appreciated.
What got you out of your Brentwood estate to come here?
It was the offer to really connect with these people that I had missed for 27 years now. I've been offered the opportunity to do these things, and I never have, and sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. From last night to today, it's been fantastic, and I really appreciate it.
All right. Worthy enough. She was known as Bobby Joe.
Yeah.
Too. Some bad things happened to Bobby Joe. I mean, some bad things. Played by then Kassie Wesley, and she's going to help me pronounce her new name. Kassie DePaiva. Bring it out for Bobby Joe. Welcome. Now you've been to a few of these things.
A few. This is my third.
Your third.
Yeah.
So she's only slightly virginal. She's
Yeah.
less virginal. Now what is your impression of these events? What do you make of them?
I think you fans rock it. Y'all are great.
Yeah.
You love Bruce, you love the genre, and it's just fascinating, and you are so colorful with your tattoos. That's all I can say.
Does anyone know where I can find a black t-shirt? We'll talk later. Ladies and gentlemen, she played Annie Noby, the professor's daughter. Some bad things happened to her too. That's the nature of a horror movie. Please welcome Sarah Berry. Come on down. Welcome. So you are also, one would say, virginal at this sort of thing?
Yes, this is my very first.
Very first. So please, don't be as rude as you normally are. Let her talk, for God's sake. Well, what are your feelings about all this? These movies were made like decades ago when your parents were not even born. What's the allure? What keeps these people coming back, I suppose?
That's a question I'd like to ask all of you, because I don't know. We had a lot of fun making it, but none of us
Oh yeah, it was a blast, Evil Dead too. Yeah, 14 weeks in the hottest summer on record in North Carolina. Yeah, man, was that awesome. You being dragged through the woods, that was awesome. Stabbed in the back, wasn't that hilarious?
And the blood was made out of sugar and the flies came out. That's
yes,
right.
they did.
And the latex melted in her hair.
Oh, dear God, you gotta bring that up again? Semi-last but never least, he played Jake, the weasel trader, redneck, Kentucky son of a bitch. I wasn't sure where he's from, actually. Somewhere around here, maybe. His family tree don't fork, I know that. The one, the only Danny Hill! Welcome, sir. Welcome.
I'm sorry, I was just looking for the restroom.
No, you've come to the right place.
I've come to the right place!
Now-
All you crazy people.
Now, Mr. Hicks, you have been to these conventions before.
Yes, I have.
Why do you come back?
For the girls!
For the girls, the hot chicks? Are you out of your mind?
Yes, she
Get
is.
your prescription check, lady.
I come because it's so much fun and I get to see your ugly
Are
ass.
there any female ashes here? Any female ashes? Are you currently dressed as a female ash? There you go. Is that not hotness on a stick? Come on, man. Let's do it in the parking lot. I'll even use my footstep. Let's just calm down for a second here. We've got more people to talk to. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now go to those who participated in the original Evil Dead. They're being helped to stage because they're all very old now. First, let's please welcome Mr. Hal Delrich as Scotty.
Oh, Hal, Scotty. Oh, Hal, boys. Oh, Hal.
There he is.
He's going to come up here and raise hell.
Please join our...
Hell shall be raised.
They're spending money, so sit down. Now, Rich, your real name is Rich DeManincor. Can you give us some idea?
Nobody knows that.
Oh, no? Crap.
They do now.
Oh, well, whoopsie. No one will ever retweet that. So, but how did you come to the name that your character, that you
Okay.
used in the movie?
All right, you guys, supposed fans, know the answer to that stupid question.
I know.
Who knows out there? Way
Boy,
in
you
the
really
back.
nailed that one.
I can tell you're real fans. Thanks. All right, way in the back. Go ahead. Give it a try. Yes. And?
I'll make it easy on you, sir. His name is Rich. His roommates were Hal and Del. So he became Hal Delrich
Yes.
in the movie. And that was the least interesting fact that you'll hear today. Welcome to this esteemed panel.
Thanks for the setup.
Please settle in. Now really, then these next three should be introduced as a trio. They are kind of loosely known as the ladies of the Evil Dead. Ellen Sandweiss, Betsy Baker, Teresa Tilley. They were the women who got it the worst, I guess you could say. They managed to survive and tell the story, and they're all here. They were able to breed children and have semi-normal lives. Please welcome the ladies of the Evil Dead! Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Are you surprised that so many people would show up in Cincinnati, Ohio? Yes, you are.
We are
So
too.
you've been to a number of these. You have, some would say, poured yourself out. Others would say you've been engaged in lively commerce.
Spoken by a pimp, that's nothing.
Thank you. I was afraid I was going to get arrested as a pimp when I was walking over here. And I was. So I have to go in about 20 minutes for my arraignment.
You're doing good after prison.
Thank you. Ladies, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. And thank you, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Full Bearcats.
We have a few more esteemed guests that we're going to welcome here. And we're going to start, do we have in fact Master of Disaster here? Okay, great. The next gentleman is not an actor, but he can sure act up. He, that was pretty lame. I didn't write any of this shit. This man was the one who made these monsters into monsters. He worked on the special effects, the stop motion, along with another guy, Bart Pierce, but he's the one who did the scary faces and basically disfigured all of our cast members to some degree. He's got his own museum here at the event, the Evil Dead Museum. Please welcome the curator and the master of disaster, Mr. Tom Sullivan! Well, Tom, what do you think? Have you gotten some folks visiting the Evil Dead Museum?
We are packed. We are packed. And they're all interested in Invaluable, an amazing documentary that you
Boy, that wasn't a plug or anything. Make sure you go by the museum. There are many fascinating oddities.
Lots of new stuff, too.
Indubitably. Over at the museum, which is like where from here?
It's down, it's what's called the coat room.
Oh, you got the good space.
Elevator, and all the signs.
Got it.
We're right next to the Evil Dead room.
Very good. Well, last but not least, the man who is technically the glue of all of these movies. He participated in all 3 Evil Dead movies. He made the sound, he made the music that made you think that a scene was scary or exciting or whatever. He is our master composer. Please welcome Joe LoDuca! Welcome. Now, Joe, is it safe to say that you have not been to any of these?
I'm a virgin. Be gentle with
Another virgin.
Yeah!
I can get him.
What if they ask personal questions, Joe? What are you going to do?
There was nothing personal yet. I heard one of the other composers got groped yesterday.
Oh. I had a little kid at the photo op, looks up to me and goes, "You're older than I thought." Like, you little shit. All right, let's begin our panel now that we have all these esteemed guests. I would actually like to ask, of you cast members, in your pea brains, what is, who thinks they had it the worst of any of you? Raise your hand. Ellen, hands up. We got 2 right there with a half raised. Okay, wow. Well, Ellen, your hand went up pretty quick. What do you got there? No contest. Share with us your sorrow and your tragedy.
I have 3 words. The wood scene.
Why? What happened that you wouldn't say?
I'm not going to discuss it today.
She loves talking about it, usually. Tom, she got a bad case of Dutch elm disease. Midwesterners know what I'm talking about.
Thank God I ended up with some beautiful offspring. Their names are Bud and Rose.
Now, how did you handle when your children saw this movie first? How'd that go?
Well, I was trying to keep it a secret from them. And basically when their friends started seeing it was when my secret was out. So I still wouldn't let them see it till they were 15, but I think they snuck it in. One couldn't care less, and she just kind of was bored. And the other one thought it was real cool, and she ended up being an actress.
Very nice. Who is the youngest person here who has seen Evil Dead? How young? You were what?
13.
You were 13. Can anybody beat 13? You saw Evil Dead younger than 13. 11. Can anyone beat 11?
8.
How old?
9.
8. 8. Someone call child services, please.
My mom was watching their
8.
birth.
Yeah, that's not going to hurt you at all. All right, I'm just curious.
I was 4 or 5.
4 or 5. All right, it just gets creepier and creepier. All right, let's open it up to you, because I know you have burning questions for these people. Who would like to ask a question? Yes?
I'm going to open it up with an Evil Dead 4 question, actually.
Evil Dead 4.
If it ever happens.
Okay.
How many of you actually think you'll be involved in some way, shape, or form, or are willing to be involved again
How many
in
would
some
be
way, shape,
willing
or form?
if you did Evil Dead 4? How many would be willing to participate? I like Hal. He's like, no fucking way. They didn't pay me then, they won't pay me now. I think that's a fair assessment. Excellent question to start things off.
Okay, they're done.
Thank you very much, everybody. Yes, right there.
I'd like to ask the panel, tell us some secrets about what it was like working with Bruce Campbell.
Some secrets. Some secrets. You want some dirty secrets, ladies?
Working with who?
You little pervert.
I don't want to say anything, but I don't know if y'all realize I was the first person to kiss Ash.
Yeah, tongue.
Kissing his ass.
Little
Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
That was good. Still kissing his ass.
Kassie used her tongue once or twice. Whoops! That's not what the deal, my pal. Thereby ruining the tape. But all she wanted was to kiss me again and again and again. So she would deliberately screw up the takes. Isn't that true? Or are you going to deny it in front of hundreds of people?
No, that's true.
Thank you for answering truthfully. All right. Yes.
What's your favorite type of sandwich?
My favorite type of sandwich? That's a stupid question. Sit down. Yes.
A ham sandwich.
Nice. A little louder, sir. When we first did the quotes, some of the quotes from the movies, did we know that they would be famous? We didn't know the first movie would get released. It took 4 years just to make it, as they can all happily attest. So, no one knows anything when you're making a movie. We were lucky to get out of Tennessee alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it true that you filmed a scene in the remake where you pull up in a truck?
Is it true? I love the accusatory tone. Where were you? Was I in a scene that they shot of an old guy pulling up in a truck, helping this listless girl who's wandering on the road, missing an arm? And then he goes to steer, and there's a hook that goes up on the steering wheel. And you go, oh my God, he doesn't have an arm either. And then, boom, cut to black. Yeah. Never happened. Questions for our illustrious panel.
Never happened.
It can be really personal and embarrassing. Those are the best. Yes. How did they feel? How did you feel about the remake?
I thought the trailer scared the shit out of me. I didn't see it.
All right. You scared her away.
I thought it was wonderful.
I really liked it. I thought it was a brilliant kind of bait and switch, because if you're expecting a little bit of that Evil Dead humor, even the dark stuff, it's a sledgehammer in your forehead. I mean, there's not even an inadvertent chuckle in it. And when the arm
Whoa, wait a minute. She's
I
laying
wanted
under
my
the
dog.
pickup truck with a chainsaw and lops off some shins, and that's not a little bit of slapstick?
Hal has a very weird sense of humor.
Al thought that was hilarious.
Hilarious? It was not hilarious. Come on. Chainsaw through the shins? Come on.
You're bombing out. You're bombing out.
And it's a sequel, not a remake or a reboot. It's a sequel.
I don't know what it is, frankly. It was 97 million worldwide. That's what it was. Oh, can I drop that number inadvertently? Yes. Yes. Why not film the original Evil Dead? It was a brutal winter that was coming on. We did not have the money raised in time. It took us later into the fall. We didn't want to make a movie in winter in Michigan. So we went to warm Tennessee, where it was the coldest winter on record. Michigan had one of the mildest winters on record, so that worked out really good. How'd you keep warm on the first movie? Do you remember keeping, Tom, you lived in, if I'm not correct, your luxurious quarters, it was the laundry room, right? On the floor of the laundry room.
Regardless if someone was drying or washing it.
Right. And you made props in there. And after Tom left, there was a stink that came from the room. It got worse and worse and worse. We thought, has Tom died in there? So we're looking around and we thought, well, Tom does shower occasionally. We have seen him, I think he doesn't smell that bad. We found out there was a whole pile of rotting chicken bones in the corner that he had used to make the knife prop that was made out of a bunch of chicken bones. So those were Tom's rotting chicken bones in the laundry. Thanks for cleaning all your shit up, Tom. So it was comfortable living conditions. We all were in a rented house.
Well, you know what? I kept warm by shivering.
You have some kind of a illegal
A space heater.
kerosene space heater.
It was horribly illegal and toxic. We were blowing it into the cabin, thereby making all the air noxious and not breathable.
Every single one of us is going to die some horrible death because of that and because of the juice that you used for the smoke machine.
It was only oil-based, it's not that big of a deal. So it was an enclosed garage for hours and hours and hours. You had to wipe it off the lens of the camera, it would build up. So you're like, I wonder if I'm breathing that. Yeah, it's a healthy place. OSHA would have shut us down, I think, in about 3 minutes. Any other insightful questions? Yeah.
For both of the ladies that had to deal with the woods, what was your initial reaction when you found out you were going to be raped to death by trees?
Oh, shit.
How much of that was in the original draft that you
The
read?
original script said Cheryl gets attacked by the woods. And
That's it. It's sort of like in Ben-Hur, they race. Like that. Kassie, what did it say in your script? You recall?
I think she meets her ending in it. I think with Bobby Joe, she split tail, like, woo! That's how she really died, by hitting the tree after she'd been, wrapped in the vines. I did all my best work in reverse action.
Yes.
From the swallowing the eyeball, which came out, started into my mouth and did back. So I did.
Hey, I would say that's a skill.
Yeah. And then the vines were the same way. They started the shot already wrapped and things of the prosthesis. Say that
yes, prosthetic.
And
Tom, the
so
proper pronunciation
they had to
would be
do that acting too. That was so damn good.
prosthetic. Now I want to share a little trivia about the eyeball flyball. We're struggling to put Henrietta in there, so we jump on it and squeezes the head and it pops out, flies across the room and lodges in her throat. Right. Basically like that. I was watching the film when it first opened. I was doing promotion in New Orleans, so I went to a screening of it. And there were two guys who were sitting down in the front, all the way in the front. And when that thing went boom, we put like a reverse, like a bottle cap when it hit your mouth. Boom! Both these guys, they got up and they raced out of the theater, and they were in the lobby, doubled over, slapping each other on the back because they couldn't breathe. They were laughing so hard. Because that movie, Evil Dead 2 is weird. Like the first Evil Dead is very hardcore. It's very hard hitting. It's not really splatstick like the second one that has a lot of weird humor. Evil Dead 2, there was a family that stayed in the back to watch the show. It was a guy and his wife and 2 kids, and he had them right by the exit. When something horrible happened, he'd go, shit, and get the kids out. Then the door would peek open, and he'd look in again like, okay, nothing's happening, come on in. As soon as they would sit down, kids get up, and they didn't know whether to stay or go. That was my dad. No, so it elicits a strange response. Because when we first screened that Evil Dead 2 in Burbank, the reaction was very visceral. There was a lot of laughter. Evil Dead had some laughter because it was so violent, you go, I have to laugh or I'll kill myself. So, you know, different effects, different approaches. Yes.
Okay, this is for everybody up there. What was the best thing about working with Bruce and the most annoying thing about working with
I like that. What's the setup?
I'll start. I can't.
Oh, you're good. Can't wait to jump in.
I can't really think of anything good, but he kicked me in the balls very hard. That really annoyed me.
Should we explain how that happened, you liar?
Explain how that happened.
I'm on the edge of the cabin, and you're doing your bullshit redneck thing. Biggie up, Biggie doing. You pop me in the back of the head, and I'm supposed to throw myself off the... Well, it's a counter lever, isn't it, Dan?
Yes, it actually was.
Right. Should I demonstrate the counter lever of going off?
Yes. You see
What
how
happens
it
with
goes
that
up and
leg?
back?
It goes up.
Yes.
Well, you jackass, if you're standing like that, something bad might happen.
Don't blame it on me. I didn't write the damn script. I hit you in the head with a shotgun if I'm not standing close enough to you to do it.
I don't care what your little problems are.
That's the whole point, Bruce. They weren't so little after that. They were about that big.
Yeah, that's way too much information. Well, let's start at the end. I think, Rick, we got to just start with you of good times, bad times.
Good times that you were, along with Sam, just really nice to the entire cast and crew. The worst part was, I was, at one point, I get dismembered by this guy, right? Remember that scene? Everybody remember that scene? Yeah. And in rehearsal, as I recall, there was an axe or some shit involved, right? And they're coming at me, and you came dangerously close to actually chopping my head off, I think, at one point. That was a little scary.
There was some axe work. Yeah.
There was some axe work. These things just your head.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Kassie, I think it's your time
Okay,
to vote.
I thoroughly enjoyed doing the project. It's the first real movie that I'd ever done, and because we were all working so hard, you know, if you wanted to see what the shot was, well, you could go and look behind the camera. If you wanted to do stuff, I can tell you right now that when they do the laughing, when he's going crazy, when the deer's going, I am under the sofa making the cushions move.
That's right, you had to
And
go
it
to
was
work.
hotter than shit back then. And I'm in there, because I was a little skinny thing, and I was like, I'll do that, I need to be in sure.
You laughed like, that cushion laughed like hell.
What my memory was, we had these close-ups when I think we were making the chainsaw. There's something about the chainsaw. This has been a long time ago. And Sam asked me to stand in when Bruce was supposed to be looking kind of longingly, lovingly at me. He wanted me to stand there so Bruce could really look at me. So I thought, oh, that's good acting, right? So I'm standing there and I'm trying to look really like supportive and pretty. And then when it was his time to stand in there for me, he's like, that's not right.
You would paint me as an unprofessional. I challenge that, lady. I was doing this. All right. Are we still good? We're not going back to you, are we, Danny?
No, I've shared enough, thank you.
Okay,
Dear
dear
God,
God.
the good stuff.
Hal, your thoughts?
Let's see.
What was your roughest day on today?
Well, my roughest,
When the paycheck stopped?
when the PB&J stops, that was hard.
Nice.
I wish I had something interesting to say, but we were working, well, I'll say we were working hard, but everybody was, it was a team effort, but everybody was wrapped up in makeup, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. Sam was doing his storyboards in the middle of the night, falling asleep on them, and you didn't know what you were doing the next day. I don't blame Bruce for that. I blame Sam for that. But
That son of a bitch. I can't believe he wasted your time like that. I'll talk to him. He's going to care. Oh, well.
He's going to care.
Ellen, I guess it's your
I
chance.
think that's nothing.
So it was an interesting experience for me because, as many of you probably know, I went to high school with Bruce and Sam and a lot of the other people involved in Evil Dead. So it really was quite fun to